Before Angkor, before kings of stone, before empire, there was preparation. There is no Angkor without water. There is no empire without belief. Empires are often remembered by their monuments, their temples, their armies, their kings, but no empire begins with stone. Before the Khmer Empire ruled mainland Southeast Asia, before Angkor rose from the floodplain, the land itself had already been trained to hold water, to accept gods, and to obey power made invisible. This episode is not about conquest, it is about conditions. Because the Khmer Empire did not appear suddenly, it was prepared, slowly, quietly, and methodically, over nearly 1,000 years. Mainland Southeast Asia is not defined by deserts or mountains. It is defined by water. Seasonal monsoons flood the plains, then retreat, then return again. Rivers swell, shift, and overflow. Lakes expand and shrink like living creatures. This rhythm does not forgive ignorance. To survive here, societies had to do more than fight enemies. They had to predict water, store it, redirect it, control it. Long before the Khmer Empire, communities learned that water was not only survival, it was authority. The ability to manage floods and droughts meant the ability to command labor, coordinate communities, and outlast rivals. Water management was already political power, even before kings wore crowns. The earliest known state to harness this environment was Funan. Emerging around the 1st century CE, Funan was not a centralized empire. It was a network: coastal ports, river settlements, inland agricultural zones, linked by waterways rather than walls. Funan grew wealthy not through conquest, but through connection. Indian merchants arrived with goods, but also with ideas, concepts of kingship, sacred geography, the notion that rulers were not merely leaders, but mediators between the human and the divine. This process is often called Indianization, not colonization, but selective adoption. Local elites did not abandon their traditions. They absorbed foreign cosmology and reshaped it to legitimize authority. In Funan, power began to acquire a sacred explanation. Not yet divine kings, but kings justified by divine order. As trade routes shifted and coastlines changed, power moved inland. This gave rise to Chenla. Unlike Funan, Chenla was not centered on maritime trade. It was rooted in land and rivers. Rice agriculture expanded. Irrigation grew more complex. Water meant control over harvests, and harvests meant loyalty. Chenla rulers pushed authority upriver, closer to the heart of the floodplains. Here, political power became territorial. Temples were no longer only sacred spaces. They marked control over land and labor. The ruler was not merely wealthy, he was cosmically necessary. If water flowed correctly, if rice grew tall, if floods receded on time, it was proof that the ruler's bond with the divine remained intact. Failure was not just political, it was cosmic. Indian cosmology did not arrive as theology alone. It arrived as architecture. The universe was imagined as a sacred mountain surrounded by oceans, aligned by cardinal directions. Temples became microcosms of the universe itself. To rule, then, was to maintain cosmic balance. The king was not simply a man on a throne. He was the axis between heaven and earth. This belief system accomplished something extraordinary. It transformed labor into devotion. Digging canals, raising embankments, building temples. These were not merely acts of obedience, they were acts of cosmic participation. Infrastructure became ritual, engineering became religion, and religion became obedience. By the time Chenla fragmented into rival centers, the blueprint was already complete. Reservoirs, canals, spillways, seasonal storage. These were not just agricultural tools, they were political machines. Only centralized authority could mobilize labor at such scale. Only kings with sacred legitimacy could demand it continuously. And only societies conditioned by ritual labor would comply, generation after generation. This is why later Khmer rulers did not invent hydraulic power. They inherited it, and they perfected it. When historians ask, why did the Khmer Empire emerge here and not elsewhere? The answer is not found in a single king. It is found in preparation. Centuries of water management trained societies to think collectively. Centuries of Indianized belief trained elites to rule symbolically. Centuries of ritual labor trained populations to build at monumental scale. By the time Angkor would rise, the land already understood what empire required. Not speed, not chaos, but patience. The Khmer Empire did not begin when the first great temple was built. It began when water became governance, when belief became administration, when kingship became cosmic duty. Funan experimented. Chenla consolidated. Together, they created the conditions for something unprecedented. An empire built not just on armies, but on alignment, between humans and gods, between water and stone, between belief and obedience. There is no Angkor without water. There is no empire without belief. Before the Khmer Empire ruled Southeast Asia, it was already written into the land, in the rivers, in the canals, in the temples that turned labor into faith.